Oh, it's kicking around everywhere. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. We're here. It's my fault we're late. It always is. My apologies. Luckily, I have two incredibly kind and generous and patient friends. And hopefully, you ramshackle bunch of listeners can live up to their example and be equally as accepting of me for all my foibles. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday night, and when one, two, three of us are together on a Friday, we play Traveller. And that's kind of what we're doing tonight. More of that in a second. But Traveller is very much involved, and our ongoing Traveller story is very much involved. If it's your first time, you're very, very welcome. We are so glad you could join us. There's a dizzying array of things you could do, watch, or enjoy out there. And we're very glad you're giving us a few minutes of your time. We'll run a couple of hours or something this evening, not too crazy. It's more of a catch up rather than a big chunk of story, so we'll keep it short and snappy. Bit of fun, chilled out, hopefully. Hope you enjoy it. If you're a regular, welcome back. As always, we love you guys. We'd be nothing without you. We'd melt to a puddle without you. If you're part of the VOD squad, thank you very much for listening. Our VOD has been picking up on YouTube, guys. I'm noticing it's not big numbers, but there's been a few more peaks and fewer troughs. It's quite nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, it just shows all that hard work is finally paying off. That's right.
Never feels like work.
Which bit were you laughing at there?
Never feels like work.
I was going for the paying off bit. If you want to chat, please feel free to chat. Chat is friendly. We'll get involved in chat if we're not busy at the time, especially if Ewan or Ben is not part. I'd say more this evening. They always join in the chat as well. You can chat amongst yourselves. Not chat at all. We love our lurkers. Lurkers are great. We're not going to call you out. Click us on. Do your other stuff, whatever else you're doing. You're hoovering. You're painting. You're making jigsaw puzzles. I don't know. But, we're just glad you're with us. There's a little red sun down there with Imperial credits. Feel free to spend all your hard-earned watching minutes. I have put on, Jörn, you'll be pleased to hear. I won't be pleased to hear. It's the lizard. They're particularly loud tonight, and actually, from what Ben was saying off stream, Ewan, I think they might be fitting this evening.
Ooh. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, indeed. Just make sure you bring your guns down to the hold. Yes, thank you, Ben. There is one thing that we always keep as one credit, which is I'll drink to that. So if we say something or something happens in the stream that you agree with, you want to raise a glass to, sort of toast to, then please feel free. I'll drink to that. You can raise a glass at home. We'll raise a mug or a glass, whatever we're drinking. And merch. Look at us. We cut us and we bleed merch. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let's see. Oh yes. And in fact, the one who bleeds the most merch, of course, is Ben, because if you look closely, he is who Greyhill is very much modelled on. With those sturdy chin and those muscular
Especially the forearms.
Especially the forearms.
Exactly.
I mean, probably technically true. I mean, I have forearms.
You have 4 arms. Oh, no wonder.
I do actually have more than the average number of arms. It's something that not many people know about me.
That is true. But not as many as the average Welshman.
Not as many as the average Welshman, no.
We need to get him an apron for Christmas.
There goes our Welsh squad numbers.
It's an in-joke link back to our stream.
Look at Truth Foragers. You'll understand.
I know.
But tonight, that's not what we're doing. We are playing Traveller, or what we're doing is we are summing up the first half, or the first however much, of Season 3 of our Traveller campaign. It's been something we've been playing for 2.5 years, getting on for 3 years on stream now.
Mm-hmm.
We play glacially. In 3 years, we've covered about 3 weeks of in-game time. No, I'm selling us short. 5 weeks.
7 or something, or 6. Yeah, I mean, a fair number, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some streams, the game even goes through about 6 hours of in-game time. Normally when they're sleeping.
Usually.
Sometimes about 20 minutes. But that is what it is, and we're loving it, and we hope you enjoy what's about to come. But before we do that, it might be nice to know who we are, where we come from, if we're doing the old Cilla Black blind date approach. So I'm contestant number 1. My name is Luke. I am from Kent, and I like puppies, dancing in the rain, and long walks through mud. I also play Kara, an artist, carouser, trader hacker, Soraya, our jack of all trades, drinker of mimosas, and our grubby engineer. There she is, look, there she is. But she's not grubby at the minute. She is in the sauna. More of that in a second. My partner in crime's right above me, and we all like him because he's brilliant. He's got more than the average number of fingers, as he just showed. He takes every chance to show it off. Is a minute of wisdom on credit? I think it is, if you want it this evening. He is my brother from another mother, the housewife's favourite, and the Floofmeister General. He is the owner of the finest quiff in the group. He is the wonderful Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hello, Luke. I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. I'm excited to be here playing some role-playing games with the two most handsome men in Kent who play Traveller on a Friday night and some other TTRPG game on a Saturday, generally starting around about 11 o'clock.
Well, that can't be us then.
Oh, was I not specific enough? Was it too specific?
Oh, speaking of one of these 3 handsome men in Kent that play Traveller on most Fridays a bit after 11 o'clock, who does the one that's always in the middle play?
Sorry, I was
nodding along.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what, middle? Huh? Oh, wait, yeah, that's me. I play Stefan Miller. Generally sneaky, not always sneaky, as we found out. Space Rogue, who's the one that'll end up liberating something if you spend your points on Stefan's sneaky masterclass.
Yes.
I also play Agnar Arnson, who is a hairy Varga wolfman, former military general, and the one who'll buy around for everyone if you spend your points on Daddy Agnar mode.
Oh, yeah. I do love Daddy Agnar mode. Daddy Agnar mode's one of my favourite modes, it must be said. Right.
It saves all your Imperial credits in game.
I know. I've made quite a good saving on that, thank goodness.
Yes.
Kara keeps
very,
spending
very
some
handy
junk.
choice, that one that Luke slipped in there.
Yeah, Luke set up for us. Thanks, Luke.
Well, Stefan wouldn't do it, let's face it.
That's true. He wouldn't.
Oh, man. Well, the man, we play with these Imperial credits, but there's one man to whom they all belong, because he giveth and he taketh away. He decides on the cost of things. He decides on the amount of things. He decides whether overly extravagant space chessboards cost 10,000 credits.
That's true. He's not only the banks, he's the entire economic system.
He's the entire economic system for an entire universe spanning multiple races and more planets you could ever think of. He can do all that. He can keep track of every single different currency, every single different economy. And do you know why? Because he's the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, and he's followed around by 6 topless, heavily oiled, muscular Eastern European men who keep that curtain behind him wherever he goes. It's like he's always about to have his passport photo taken in the 80s. He is the magnificent Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, very well. And looking forward to some lovely, gentle, easy exploration of the Baltic Star.
Yeah. We like the Baltic Star. It's nice to be on it, I think. After all that time apart. I don't know how you felt, you. Did you start yearning? Pining?
Yeah. It's been a really long time. Plus, we got some, there were some new additions that we hadn't seen. It felt like coming back was a little bit like Christmas Day mixed with a bit of a homecoming. It was good. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it is nice to be back. Ben, although you can, of course, jump back there anytime you want with one of your countless characters, you can lie in bed pretending that you're Rachel Axis walking around. So that's something we can't do, of course. But are you still glad that we're back in a way? Does it fill
Very
you
much
full?
so. Yeah, very much so. I've been looking forward to the opportunity to get you guys back on your own ship with your own crew, traveling from spot to spot for quite a while, because you've essentially been vagabonds meandering across the galaxy on random tramp ships that you happen to encounter, and now you're back on a ship that is actually yours, with all of the brilliance and terrors and worries that comes from that.
You say what now?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, speaking of which, I suppose we better carry on where we left off. And normally we go over to Ben for this, but he's just not cool enough to have a vlog. There is one person that we know that is cool enough to have one, so we'll go back over to her.
Yes.
And hey, Laska here. I am back on the Baltic Star. Thank you so much for hanging around with us. I'm sorry, I've been busy. Life has taken an interesting turn in the last week on the Baltic Star. You will not believe what's happened. I'll catch you up on it over the coming time. But this is a week later. I recorded all this immediately after the last one, but you might be getting this a week later. My apologies, but content is content, and sometimes spreading out the glory, the joy, is a good thing. Of course, hopefully you remember I'm here with Stefan Miller with cheesy balls on his chest. Hey, Stefan, how's it going?
Hi. What do you mean a week later?
Well, it's all timey-wimey stuff. Don't you worry about that. I just said that some crazy stuff had happened. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we're just going to sit play cards all week.
Are you sure you don't know?
No. I don't
I'm
know.
watching you. What are you holding out?
Well, just look into this pen at the light. Look very carefully. Don't look away while it flashes, okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Right. So, Stefan, we're here outside the. People won't believe this, but our lowly Baltic Star, a ship that just takes people from system to system, has count them, two saunas and steam rooms. Stefan, have you been in one? Yeah, have you made use of the steam room in your time here?
Not recently. Not since we got back. No. But I've been in one before.
Do you prefer the emo ones here on the bottom, or do you prefer the cool ones at the top of the ship?
I've got to be honest. I prefer the hot saunas at the bottom to the cool ones at the top.
I see what you've done there. You always have a way with words. That's why the viewership has just gone up. I think it's to do with your words and not to do with your chest that you've got out so finely right now.
It's the cheesy ball fans.
There's many cheesy ball fans, of course. There's a big hashtag going around at the minute. Free the balls. I'm guessing that's to do with the cheesy balls on your chest. So, shall we head inside and see what's behind door number 1?
Well, you already know though, don't you?
I do.
You did this like a week ago.
Exactly. Don't you get caught up in all that. Don't get confused.
But no spoilers though. No spoilers. Okay, let's go.
Right. And as we go into this room, look who's. Oh my! It's Johnny Cress. I'd never have guessed. There he is. Look at him. Johnny, do you wear a vest even in the sauna? What's up with you?
It's really that I came in here and then it was horizontal, so I lay down and I didn't really do much more thought processing.
Oh, it's been a hard week for you, Johnny. I think we sent you out on at least one walkabout over the week. Have you quite recovered from that?
I tell you, it was hard work. I think I had, about an hour and a half probably of activity over the course of 5 days, and it takes it out of you.
It does. How does it feel? Please tell my viewers, how does it feel when you're part of a group and they kind of forget about you for a couple of days? Maybe on purpose, maybe by accident, and maybe they forget about all the skills you have.
I don't really have anything to compare it to because that's pretty much been how I'm always in a group. I'm always the sort of the one that everyone says, "Oh, you know what? We need somebody to hold that door open while we're moving the stuff." Johnny can do that. He can hold a door open. So if you need me to replace any kind of immovable object or convenient fixing, like if there's a picture that needs to be hung but you don't have any way of hanging it, I'll just stand there and hold it for you.
Oh, this is good. We've saved a lot of money, haven't we, Stefan, getting Johnny to hold things over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah. I come with an extensive skill set, though to be honest, none of them is really what you call formal training.
Did you know he was going to say that, Carl?
I did. In fact, if you
Is
look,
that how you always know to ask the right questions?
I've written exactly what he was going to say right there. You see, I knew
That's
it.
amazing.
I know it is amazing. In fact, wait for this. All the viewers already know what you're about to say as well. They just know, Stefan. You have no self.
Wait, the viewers know as well.
The viewers know. The viewers know. You're caught in the loop. We've done this like 7 times already.
So you mean the only person who's not in on this is Stefan?
That's always the way, isn't it?
Okay.
To be fair, I'm quite often the only person who doesn't know what I'm going to say.
I was thinking that.
See?
So, Johnny, you've been with us a number of weeks now.
Mm.
Remind our viewers, our dear hashtag Free the Cheesy Balls Brigade that have just joined. Please tell them, how did you end up with us? A fine man like you with some space vagabonds like us.
Well, like most good stories, it began with poverty, misery, loneliness, dysfunction, family trauma, and then it went quite a long way downhill, and I ended up here.
We're glad to have you. I believe a former member of the crew threatened you as the first thing that we ever did to you.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And it then turned out that you guys were on a ship with my sister, who I hadn't seen in quite a while.
We're going to go catch you later.
And you went and found her, and she came and found me, and we caught up a bit, and got our anger with each other kind of out of our system, and then and since then we've actually been fairly tight.
How do you feel about the fact that somehow, despite our best intentions, Sammy always ends up injured or in the middle of danger? We try to keep her out of it, but
I mean, I've known her all of my life, you understand, and she is not someone who runs away from things unless she really thinks she's got no chance of surviving them. So I don't think it's really your fault.
Oh, it's Stefan's fault.
Well, it's easy to blame Stefan, but I feel Soraya probably holds equal responsibility.
That's really useful information to know, though. Cara, we should get Sammy a T-shirt printed.
Yeah.
It says, something along the lines of, "I'm Sammy Cress. If you see me running, try to catch up."
Yes. Yeah, it's probably worth it because she's not cowardly, Sammy. She never has been.
No, it seems like she developed her shooting skills here on the ship.
Yeah, that was news to me. I knew she had a vicious right hook on her. I didn't know she could use a weapon.
To be fair, we did go down to this planet a while back, and dear viewers, I think we've talked about it before here on Cara's blog. You can't go there right now. I do apologise. There's weird stuff happening there. I'm not allowed to go into it. But something you didn't know was while we were there, pretty much the whole time, this powerful man, this athletic rogue, hid behind our scientist pretty much for the entire mission. Is that not right, Stefan?
I suppose that depends on your definition of the word hid.
Coward?
I mean, if someone was sneaking up behind her, I was protecting her.
Oh. God, you've
if
been
they were coming from the front, I was hiding in a very cowardly way.
You've been getting your military tactics Magna, leading from the back.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh. Johnny, I see Soraya's down there. Has she been asleep the whole time you've been in here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I'm not surprised she's pretty pooped. Dear viewers, for those of you that haven't been following Kara's vlogging society too much over the last week, that are just sort of catching up a little bit, you might not realise that we all separated a lot on Geek. We didn't want to. We were all friends. We all get on really well, but different things happened to each of us. More happened to some than others. So, for example, my dear friend Stefan here. Say hello, Stefan.
Hello.
He stabbed someone in the neck.
Allegedly.
Allegedly on camera. He ran. He hid underground, not literally underground, but in hotels and such like. And then he, to be fair to him, I'll big him up. He clung to a cliff face for how long was it, Stefan?
It was at least a day.
Clinging on to a cliff face for at least a day in order to get rescued, I believe.
Yes. Well, to get picked up. You know,
Okay,
I don't need rescuing.
Well, no. Of
I
course.
was in need of a ship.
That is true, and one came along, and then you spent the last bit of the week sitting in your bunk eating toasties.
Yeah. Many a toasted sandwich, thanks to I believe it was your negotiating skills, Carl.
What can I say? I know what to negotiate for. I get the important things done. We'll speak to all the engineers, and they'll talk about guns and engines and that. But I got us toasted sandwich makers. You've got to keep a crew happy, right? Got to keep a crew happy. And I saw people were starting to look a bit hungry in my philosophy evenings. So I thought, what we need, toasted sandwiches, and we can go for an extra hour in the philosophy every night.
When you say we,
Well, I mean you. Hey, Dragon Fence, thank you so much for
Royal.
your first time chat. The Royal We. Thank you, Dragon,
we.
for something Royal We. Mikey tells us double raided us somehow. I don't know how it's happened.
I don't
but
know how
I
that
appreciate
happened, but yes.
Oh,
if that doubles the numbers. I'll happily go for that.
they are too kind to us with the double raid.
A double raid. Are they just getting their numbers up? Are they? I don't know how they do it, but good work, monkeys. Sorry, we'll jump aside. I hope you're doing well. If you're watching and you're not one of the Monkey Tails, feel free to follow them. They do good stuff. We love their work. We often end up popping in 1, 2, or 3 of us beforehand, if we can, before we set up. We just love these guys. They do good things. Follow them, subscribe to them, check them out. They do some really good stuff. Do your Friday, Saturday night double header. Go Monkey Tails, Baltic Star. It's a good evening. Oh, I see. Oh, poor Dork Tales. Hello, anyone from Dork Tales that got dragged along something they didn't want to be here. We appreciate you and hope you had a good time too in whatever you're doing. You've ended up in a horrible backwater of Twitch with 3 guys talking about, just summarising the first half of their 3rd season of a sci-fi game that will make no sense at all to you. You know, hang around for the vibes, maybe. I know. We're glad you're here. Maybe they might consider coming back one day. Hang around for a bit, learn the characters, see which one you hate the least, and we'll go from there. So, Stefan, if I get this right for my dear vlogging viewers, your whole time a geeker went, stab someone, run away, hide in a hotel, do some rock climbing, eat toasted sandwiches.
Yeah, pretty much. I pretended to be a construction worker for a period of time, not a long period of time. Mostly just to get in and out of the hotel, unrecognised. Put high vis on, get anywhere on Geeker, absolutely anywhere.
Did you keep your hard hat and your high vis? We were going to do a village people party during Jump, and you'd be perfect for one of the roles already.
No, I definitely didn't keep them. But we can purchase some more. I'm sure they can't be that hard to come by, can they?
In the middle of jump. Nah, easy.
Well, we're not.
I'm sure Space Amazon will just catch up to us in our bubble.
Yeah. Body paint. We must have some neon body paint on board.
Oh yeah, I barely live without the stuff.
See, you can paint a high vis on,
Oh,
and you
I
can get
will.
anywhere.
So yeah, especially some very specific parties, I would say.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, especially on because it's our ship as well. But yes,
that's true. Even we've got standards to get onto the front of ship.
it's true. Fair
So
point.
that was your week. So your week was stab, run, hotel, cliff, toasted sandwiches. A well balanced week, I'd say. And you take me.
Yeah.
I went. What did I went. Be scared. Then I went.
Tradition.
Yeah, tradition. Qualify for a race that I've never ever managed before. Vlog a lot. Nearly get killed. Help win a race. Stab some people. Shoot some people. Back at the ship.
Wait, what race did you qualify for?
Well, the big Pelago race, of course, on Gig. Thank you very much for the lead in Stefan. For any new viewers on our vlog tonight. Yeah, only the most important Pelago race in the whole of Geeka. And
Wow.
I would like to say it was thanks to me. I did a lot of singing in the ship, keeping morale up. I read them through the entire Varga philosophy on feast days. That kept their spirits up as well. But I think ultimately it's down to Kat being a very good pilot. But I did my bit.
How'd you do?
Won it. Number one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You're world champions.
We're world champions, multi-world champions at the Pelago race. Your friend and me, Laska. Number one, baby, number one. We bossed it, and then when we finished, we jumped out the back like heroes, got onto that cursed island, stabbed up some suspicious guys, and flew off into the night with lots of creepy photos. Do you remember this photo, Stefan? Of the creepy carvings?
I do, but let's just rewind for a minute.
Yeah.
So when I'm hiding behind Sammy, I'm a coward. When you're hiding behind a Pelago racer, you're a hero.
I'm not. What Pelago racer am I hiding behind?
No. The vehicle.
The vehicle? I can't hide
Yeah.
behind. I had to bounce out of it in a big ball.
Exactly. So you were behind it for a period of time,
Well, yeah, only for
presumably hiding.
a second before it pinged off 1,000 miles an hour. Don't you try and turn your wicked ways on me, Stefan Miller.
Well, congratulations anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I guess my week went be scared, qualify for a race, vlog, nearly get killed, win a race, stab some guys. That was my week, right? And if we're looking at Agnar's week, I'll talk to him a bit more later, but it's going to go something like stick a plaster on someone, drink a lot. That was his week, wasn't it, pretty much, I think?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually turned my my device on.
There's going to be a lot of messages when you get a lot of group messages when you load that. It's
I
just
was a
going to
little
keep
bit
going.
worried at the time, so I turned it off and I kept it in my the old secret compartment somewhere below my rib cage.
Oh, the old compartment, yeah.
I also turned it off.
Did you leave it on vibrate, did you?
Because it's just weird.
Palpitations!
So I'll catch up with those at some point. But yeah, I mean, that sounds about right for Agnar.
Yeah, he gave a lot of orders. He gave a lot of orders, but he was up in a big bougie balloon drinking expensive alcohol with a lady friend.
Very nice.
Classic Agnar, really.
No toasted sandwiches, though, I bet.
They probably had toasted sandwich flavoured cheesy balls up there. You know what they're like, these high-class people mixing different flavours together, crossing the cuisines.
Nouveau.
Very nouveau. So that was his week. Stick a plaster, get drunk. But look at poor old Savara. No wonder she's knackered, lying down asleep. Now that girl has had a week. I think you'd agree. If we can
And
think
she'd had a
about
week by the time we parted ways, I think.
yeah, I'm not going to wake her because I'd feel very awkward talking to her right now for reasons. But and I'm sure none of my viewers want to hear me converse with Soraya right now. Bless her, bless her little socks. But she was the one being chased by Fess when you stabbed him up heroically. I'm going to go heroically. He should have died in my mind.
Thanks. Wait, he didn't?
Well, you know Agnar with the power of his plasters saved the man's life, didn't he? That's all the problems we had. That's all the problems we had. You know, that's what happened to Rose. Rose got kidnapped because Agnar saved a villain's life. He claimed it was down to his whatever he has, his the laws of the medic, whatever it is he calls them. But so Soraya ran in fear. I believe she came and hung out with you. I say hung out. She was on the run with you for a bit, wasn't she?
Yeah. She, in fact, she was the one that got us out of there. Her and her smoke grenades out of the cascade by cover of smoke, kind of not. But you know, we'll say she got us out. Yeah, and then found us a nice little hotel.
The No Star Hotel.
The No Star Hotel.
No Star Hotel. It was
the No Star No Staff Hotel. From
the No Star. Yeah, it's automated. It's the best place. But then she was telling me she gave herself up, believing that it would make things better for you. She was sort of lied to by the security on the planet. So after going to the media, she spent some time inside, and when she finally got out, had a sleep, and then suddenly she was with Zoe chasing submarines halfway across the planet and getting blown up.
I will admit, as good as the toasted sandwiches were, I'm a little bit jealous. That sounds a lot of fun.
I'm sure she would have swapped with you, to be honest.
But, well, alas, I had to sit here.
Tragically.
But look at her sleeping look at her sleeping all peacefully. It's the first bit of peace she's had all week. Bless her.
She does look really peaceful.
Oh yeah, and really sweaty as well. It's quite warm in here.
Is it safe to sleep in the sauna?
Probably not. It's a
Johnny.
Check she's still breathing.
Johnny sort of bends over and listens to her for a second, and then he says, "There's some kind of noise. I'm not entirely clear what I'm listening for. I'm not what you call medically qualified."
If you're unsure, get a glass from the bar, hold it up to her mouth, and see if it fogs over.
Wow. You're in a sauna.
Work.
Everything's going to fog over.
Yeah, if it does, she's fine.
Won't it fog over just walking in through the door?
Well,
that just means she's breathing very heavily.
Yeah. Extra breathing. It's fine.
It's filling the entire.
But seriously, keep an eye on it. Don't let her get, dehydrated, overheating.
Sure.
All of that medic stuff.
I'll throw a glass of water on her if I get worried.
Oh, well, you enjoy yourself, Johnny. The some of the people on the viewers on the vlog, I've got a couple of questions for you, Johnny, before we go.
Oh yeah.
First one was, how long does it take you to shave your armpits? From one of them, and how often?
I don't actually shave my armpits. I just don't have a lot of hair there.
That's a good question, good answer. And the other question was, who do you think would win in a little finger arm wrestle between you and Stefan Miller?
I think on paper, I'd probably have the edge, but I darkly suspect he'd cheat.
And what if it was on the edge of a table?
On the edge of a table. Yeah. I think that would just make it easier for him to cheat, wouldn't it?
Well, the viewers want it. and what the viewers want, the viewers get. So please, if the two of you, this is all for content, dear friends. It's going to be hot and sweaty in here, so don't work too hard. You're going to use your favourite out of dexterity and strength, and
Okay.
the best of 3 will win the little finger arm wrestle.
All right. With Johnny, that's not a tough call. It's just, is it athletics, dex, or strength as well?
Yes.
Okay. He's not too bad then with dex and
Well.
athletics dex.
Yeah.
Right,
Same
you're
for
speaking,
Stefan.
you're speaking to the man that did backflips in a forest.
Oh. I got a 6 plus 4 is a 10.
Total of 8, including his bonus.
Oh, Stefan, look at you. Strong arms, bringing his arms down. Come on. Come on, Johnny. You can fight back. Do it for
All
the
right.
crowd.
This is best of 3, you said.
Yeah. Are you getting hot and
So-
sweaty in that big dressing gown in here, Stefan? Maybe you want to take it off for the crowd.
It's quite warm. Maybe. We'll see.
That's an 8 again, I'm afraid.
Oh, double ones.
Oh,
That's gonna help.
oh, look at that. He's getting tight around
Not
your
use
elbow.
those.
Come on, Johnny. You can do it.
All right.
Right, the dressing gown's coming off.
Yes.
This is the
Stop this, Cara.
It's all coming off.
Go on,
This
let's
is
go.
it.
That's it. Flex a bit as you do it. Come on. Now I'm back on your
I
side now,
am
Stefan.
flexing.
Oh, are you? Oh, no. How embarrassing.
It's ridiculous. That's another 8. I can't believe I found 3 completely different ways to roll 6s.
Mine is also a 6, though, I'm afraid. For a 10
no,
those ones.
so that's
Oh, well. Dear viewers, Stefan Miller is the champion. Stefan, Johnny, please congratulate each other in the way that we like the two of you to do it on the Baltic Star, with a lingering embrace. While I zoom in for the viewers.
This is after Stefan took his dressing gown off.
Exactly.
He's got
Okay.
trunks on.
Anything for content.
Ah,
Lovely.
cheers, Johnny, Chris. You're a good sport. People like you. People are saying that they're a big fan of you, and they'll sign up to anything that you put out. So start your own channel. You'll get some viewers yourself, Johnny. But we're moving on now. Keep an eye on Soraya. Relax nicely. No doubt we'll need you in the days and weeks to come.
We can but hope.
Right, Stefan, you coming with me?
Yeah, I'll join you.
Well,
Where
dear,
to?
well, Stefan, and well, dear viewers, we are delving into a very important part of the ship now. We've done the top of the ship, the cool, happy part. We've done the emo bottom of the ship, the emo south, and now we're heading into the very guts. It's something that I would like to call the front of ship, but on the Baltic Star, there's a quirk where the front of ship is in the middle of the ship, the chest of the ship, in fact. We are going to the bridge. Are you allowed on the bridge, Stefan, or are you still banned after what you did the other time?
No. It was only a temporary ban. It got lifted. So I've been. I believe it's what do they call it? I do think I'd know this being a criminal, but one of those sentences where you don't actually serve your sentence, but if you do anything else wrong,
Suspended.
then, yeah, that's the one. Suspended sentence. So I am allowed on the bridge, but I have to be on my best behaviour.
And at least I'm with you, so I can vouch for you somewhat. I'll only vouch for you if you keep your dressing gown off, though. Come on, let's go. I think I caught sight of someone special walking in as we walked past earlier, and in fact, it is. It's everyone's favourite chief engineer. It's Rachel Axis. Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Here we are. For those dear viewers watching us that don't know much about how the Baltic Star works, we are in the bit of the plan that says G. We are on the bridge. Rachel, it's a place you look at home. You look at home tinkering in the bridge, like it's meant to be.
I mean, I consider the whole ship to be my little playground. Everywhere there's something that needs tightening or loosening, or tightening again because I just loosened it.
Are you a strong believer in the, the the two main arts of the engineer, the WD-40 and the gaffer tape?
Um, no, no, I'm an actual engineer, not someone who's pretending to be one.
So
Um,
you turn it off and turn it on.
I turn it off and I turn it back on again. And if it's something that requires tightening to a certain strength, you tighten it just a little bit more than that, and then you ease it off just enough to make sure that the threads have some give. Because otherwise, it's just hard work undoing it again later.
She's a true pro. Although you have got the rather musculature Kron Sarama to give you a hand, of course.
That is true.
Well, he's a beefy man in his own right.
He's a good lad, and I have to say, completely unfazed by being basically put on kitten watch duty.
Yeah, how did you find that while we were away gallivanting around? How was your time with the kitten caboodle?
I loved the cat, and the cat caught a murderer
Nice.
and proved to be a big hit in the sort of station and concourse area. It's a delightful, charming little thing, and was a joy to spend time with. Um, which is good because it's nice that there's a member of the crew I actually like.
Yes, I was going to ask you how was it having most of us off the ship? We for a few weeks. We can take it. We were
You
kind of
know,
forced on you.
in general, in my experience, and this isn't a specific comment about this crew, in general, as an engineer, ships work much more efficiently when nobody's on them. Nobody's pushing things and pulling things and breaking things and using things. Frankly, the ship is just so much easier to keep on top of when nobody's breaking anything.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, I think the best thing to do in that regard is have nothing whatsoever to do with anything breakable on the ship, and just drink, paint, and talk philosophically at anyone that will listen.
I think in general that's true. If you have a ship and you fill it with things that aren't easily broken, that's a good start. Unfortunately, you filled it with people, and they're very easily broken.
Ah, yeah, not like this fine, strong specimen of a man, though.
I don't know. He looks like I could break him in half.
Well,
Who?
well, chat are very enthusiastic about that, Rachel. But we'll give him a chance. Crom was saying that some big changes have been made to the ship. We haven't seen too many walking around the corridors, either the arty, lovely, wonderful top of ship or the emo cell.
There have been a few changes that. No, if you've just been walking through the sort of crew quarters, you probably wouldn't have noticed. There are, however, a few proper changes. One that you might spot is in the bar. We have a
Oh,
new hatch down to a,
beer cellar?
yeah, let's call it that. Only it's filled with electronics and control systems for a weapons arrangement.
Oh,
And you know
is it?
where the saunas are?
I, we've just come from one.
Okay. Directly sort of underneath them and on the outside of the ship's hull,
Hmm.
we now have a couple of turrets.
Oh. Is it sensible to put all the electrical controls for the guns right next to the bar?
Have you not met our crew?
I guess it
The
means you don't have
chances
to
of
move.
finding anyone who can handle a weapon who's sober on any given day is pretty unlikely. I mean, I suppose Zoe doesn't drink that much, but otherwise, the whole crew is a bunch of lushes. So I wouldn't truthfully expect to find sobriety being that big an influence.
Oh, it's true. It's true. And we do spend a lot of time there anyway. So if a big space battle starts, we don't have to move.
And everything's controllable from here, of course, but that's your electronic sensor access and control point for it. It's quite carefully tucked away out of sight, so you will notice the new graphic displays in there that cover it.
Nice. So we've got guns. We've got new jump. We've got sensor arrays. I can see the squeak in this chair's gone. That's the best thing you've done all day, I think. Anything
And
else?
yeah, on the subject of the jump, you're going to want to check out the hold.
Uh, Stefan, did we keep
Hmm.
those? We didn't leave them things in the hold from the La Brew, did we?
Uh, well, we left them wherever the incubators were. I didn't really have much to do. We definitely got incubators and put them in those.
We did. Very strong,
You know
sturdy
who?
incubators.
Mm,
Yeah, unbreakable, I'd
yeah.
say. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. You know who might know about that is our chief engineer.
Yeah, Rachel Access. You're our chief engineer.
I am.
Uh, have you paid a look on our eggy friends at all while we've been away?
I cast a glance over them every now and then, just to make sure they were doing okay.
How unbreakable have you made the incubators we bought? I'm sure we sent
Oh,
out a memo.
I I wouldn't say they're unbreakable.
Well, that's good to know. Um, have you been? How fast can you run, Rachel?
Um, I I don't know to what extent that's relevant because I'm pretty sure I've only got to outrun the slowest member of the crew. And if I'm any judge, right now that's probably Cat.
That's a very macabre way of putting it.
I don't know. Soraya's asleep.
The players
Then I'm doubly safe.
just not wake Soraya if things go wrong. Seems pretty harsh. Oh, so you reckon the hold is a good place to go, Rachel?
I,
It'd be nice to show the it'll be nice to show the fans.
I think you should check it out. And obviously, no spoilers. So I'm not going to tell you what you'll find down there, but I think you'll be excited.
Well, I'm hoping I'm also going to find a whole lot of fish. I've been looking forward to getting my hands on my frozen treasure.
Oh, there's quite a lot of fish. I mean, don't get me wrong, the kitten made a little bit of a dent, but only for an occasional treat.
Well, I'd like to think.
Toasted fish finger sandwiches.
Your hands off! I paid a lot of money for that. That's fishy gold. That is scaly gold.
The fish you bought, they don't have fingers.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
But disappointing for you. Imagine how the fish feel.
If anything, they haven't got any fingers.
Well,
Yeah, it's great down there. You don't have to worry. Just a little surprise down there for you.
fantastic. Sounds good. Well, let us go and be surprised, Stefan. You coming with? Come on. It's a bit chilly down there. I'll let you put the dressing gown back on there.
How can I not with such a suspenseful build up? Thanks. I'll put the dressing gown back on.
Okay.
We'll see you later, Rachel. Keep up the good work, and you around for a drink this evening? At least one. I know you're not a
Oh
big drink
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll join everyone to toast the new voyage, the
Lovely.
changes to the ship, and our new crewmates.
And some
Uh,
sandwiches.
oh
Toast
yeah.
those as well.
We need to get some
Sure.
toasted. Get a little sandwich buffet going on.
That's a really good idea.
Nice. I'll message Rose about that as well. Now that she's going to be the new in charge of all that sort of side of things.
They're good quality toasted sandwich makers. They can do a lot of different things in a sandwich.
I did ask for the very best. I put a lot of
Yeah.
money into that.
I was going to ask though, because although we've got the very best, I think we both know that you could improve them.
Don't
Can you
don't.
turbocharge those
Oh
those
no!
bad boys?
Oh no!
Cheese hotter than the sun.
I mean, we can
Add some-
certainly replace some elements and put some more watts through them, but I'm not convinced that's necessarily going to make a better product.
Could you wire them into the fuel scoops and we could get some energy literally from the sun as we're orbiting? and turn it into toasted. Is that a thing? I'm no engineer, so this might just be rubbish.
That
feels
would
like a good
probably
way.
do, you know.
To quickly make a toasted sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could actually make a toasted sandwich out of live refined hydrogen, that would be fantastic.
Oh,
Only do it with one, because if we break two, Carl's gonna have an aneurysm.
you don't know where we might end up in a very low tech world, Stefan. They might not have toasted sandwiches. I know it's hard to believe, but you know what would make a really good toasted sandwich though? Is if you wash those crumbs and those bits of cheese out of it. You've left one of them for like a week. It's proper gnarly. No one's touching it. If you make a sandwich, you clean it, Stefan.
No, whoa! I didn't make any sandwiches.
Oh, well, you were having them made for you.
Ron was bringing them to me.
Right, word. Well,
I was hiding, afraid to leave because there was security around at one point, and so I just
afraid to leave because you'd have to do the washing up, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's true. And clean the toasted sandwich makers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do it later. Come on, let's go to the hold first.
To the hold,
and then I'll clean some toasted sandwich makers.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Go on then. To the hold we go.
You know, I'm nothing if not socially responsible.
Yeah. you say that.
Yeah. So you head down to the hold. That's through the lift shaft at the front, in front of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But as you reach that lift shaft, sort of leaning against the wall, checking her communicator, is
hey Zoe, the Zoster. Viewers, you know this woman. She is the number one member of our crew. She's not even officially part of our crew, really, but she is the number one. She makes our uselessness. She sort of takes that and covers for us in every single way. She's stronger, she's fitter, she's faster, she's a better shot. She wears a leather coat better than any of us could ever dream of. She's all that, isn't she, Stefan? She's all that.
Precisely. What more can I say?
Zoe, how you doing?
all right. Are you vlogging?
Am I ever not vlogging? Can you give one of your words of wisdom to my 37 viewers?
Just one.
Nah, one of your entire sentences, perhaps. Maybe
Okay.
one of your top tips.
All right. When replacing the power cell on any beam weapon, make sure to clean both the contacts on the cell and in the weapon.
That's another top tip. Those of you, those 12 and 13-year-olds that are watching, remember that. That'll do you well one day.
I've got one on where to stick a blade between ribs as well, if that's helpful.
No, we'll save
but
that
it
for
doesn't
later.
work entirely on Varga.
Well, you know, there are many ways to skin a cat or dog, I guess.
There are many ways to get demonetized.
Sorry, Stefan. Those are on my other channel. If anyone ever wants to come to a Kara_Laska 2, that's well worth a follow as well.
Combat tips with Zoe every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Speaking of which, Zoe, we're going down to the hold. We've been told something cool's down there. Do you want to come?
Yeah, okay. I'm at a bit of a loose end. I was going to try and see Cat, but that bloody medic chased me out.
Yeah, he's got a way of doing that. He's far too full of beans at the minute. He beat me in one of our regular games of throw cheesy balls at Stefan's chest.
You play that regularly?
Oh yeah. I always lose though.
How do you play it when Stefan's not available?
He's always kind of available. If he's sleeping, you just sort of pull the duvet cover down a bit.
They break into my room, Zoe.
There's a whole life on this ship that I know nothing about. It's bizarre.
That's because you only joined the fun when we were on planet. On ship, you're in your room so early. We always invite you out.
Well, I've got to study, improve my skills.
Oh, it's true. But your skills are so good already. Surely they're at the peak of what they could be.
Oh, they're a long way off that. I seriously lack what you might call people skills. I know how to end them, but not really talk to them.
Well, to be honest, when you've spoken to most people, you want to end them anyway.
Yeah, it's a limited list that I actually don't want to kill. It's true.
If you get Kara to teach you some philosophy, you could actually do both at the same time, I believe. Isn't that right, Kara?
You can shut up. Look. Should we go? Should we go straight to the? We'll go straight
Last
to the
compliment I pay you.
we'll go straight to the toasted sandwich makes. You can clean them out now if you want. I'll go look at the hole myself.
No, come on. No, I want to see the surprise. Come on.
Oh,
I meant, philosophically end them in a debate. It wasn't bore them to death, although that's quite funny as well.
It's definitely what it seemed like. Oh dear. I studied years for my philosophical skills.
Indeed.
Come on.
Okay, let's take a look. See what's down there.
All right. Come on, everyone in.
All right. The three of you head down, and in the lower deck, essentially, the lift lets out into a small storage area with a corridor that heads aft towards the main hold. And as you enter the main hold there, you discover that it is poorly lit, of course. It's normally dark. But as you open the hatchway through to it, the lights automatically come on, detecting there is a moving person down there. And it only illuminates the bit that you're actually in. But you do get a sense of the sheer quantity of fish that is stacked.
Can you smell it, Stefan? Can you?
Was that a scent?
Can
or
you
a
smell
sense,
it?
Ben?
Can you smell the money?
One of the benefits of operating in space is that refrigeration is extremely cheap and efficient. You literally have something very, very good at absorbing heat outside your ship. So the fish is indeed very deep frozen.
Oh, it's so much fish. My notes are so bad, Stefan, that I can't even work out how much it's worth. Although I look, 50 tons of mackerel, Stefan. Look at that. That's what 50 tons of mackerel looks like.
It's worth as much as we can sell it for. How much you paid for it is a completely different matter.
30 tons of shark, 10 tons of slatefish.
Mm.
That is.
Did you get any of those strawberry flavoured fish?
We'll flavour them later. Look at 5 kilograms. 5 kilograms. Look at this little bit. 5 kilograms of Stanic HPDM. That's to be excited about. 5 kilograms. Look, it's been put in its own little room. Look, it's right against the back wall. See, by itself over there. That's cool. This room can hold tons, but that's how important. That's how precious Stanic HPDM is. 5 kilograms. Wow! Look what good trading I've done.
You have done some really good trading, to be fair, and we have a lot of fish to sell on the first desert world that we come across.
Whole lot of
presumably.
fish.
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking? I know the refrigeration is quite good down here and quite efficient, but if we had some kind of like giant net we were trailing, efficient, exactly. If we trailed some kind of giant net behind the ship and just kept all the fish in that, it'd be even more efficient. We wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And we could just tow them along behind us.
You're annoying me today. There's just something about you. It's just not coming down well with me. You're making light of all my hard work.
I'm not making light of your hard work. I'm trying to save us a bit of money on the on the energy bills.
Oh, Well,
I know we don't get bills.
there's one person that can afford the energy bills. Mister never puts his hand in his pocket.
I put my hand in my pocket.
Yeah, to pull out your phone.
Occasionally. Look, I haven't got much money outside of my retirement fund.
Oh yeah, the retirement fund. Where's the retirement fund up to now?
300,000 ish.
Some of us are under 40k now, buying fancy gifts for their friends and helping out people, buying them out of slavery and such like.
Well, listen, if we need it, I'll pay up if we're in dire need of some cash. In fact, I'm sure I offered when our friend got bitten by the old
Sand crate. Sammy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tale for another day. Poor old Sammy. I'm glad you pulled through. That was horrible for a minute.
But then we realised that you had to do like 12 treatments or something, and they all cost the same, and we'd have to come back every 6 months. Anyway, that was scary times.
It was scary.
I'm glad we're through it.
I'm glad we're through it too. Anyway, I'm guessing that showing me the fish was not what Rachel had in mind. As lovely as it is, maybe it was the Stanic HPDM. There's 5 kilograms of it, Stefan. That's not to be sniffed at. I
can barely see it from here, though. It's 5 kilograms.
5 kilograms. When have you ever seen 5 kilograms of Stanic HPDM in one place before?
I don't know, but we've got about 2 tons of every other fish, haven't we?
50 of mackerel.
Just feels, and Stefan looks over to the mass of mackerel, and then looks over to the 5 kilograms. It just feels. It's lovely. I can't wait to sell it, and then you'll have all your money back.
And so will everyone else. Everyone else's investments in there as well. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Right, Zoe, I'm always suspicious when anyone says there's a nice surprise or there's something for you to look at. You don't mind leading the way, do you?
No, I don't mind leading the way. That's absolutely fine. That's what I'm here for.
Are you hiding behind Zoe?
You're hiding behind me, I've noticed. So we might as well make a little conga.
Is it? I've already been called out for my cowardice.
I'm a tiny little woman.
As you make your way through, incrementally the lights click on further and further down. As you get towards the back, you pass well beyond the area that you needed for the fish, and you get to the little sort of area on the side where the eggs are in their incubators, which have been modified since you last examined them closely. They now have a sort of conveyor belt underneath, which is slowly moving. And as it does, because the belt is sort of slack between the rollers, the eggs are slowly rotating in those gaps between the rollers. The incubator is warm and lit, and the eggs are slowly turning.
I've been having second thoughts about these, Stefan. You remember what we went through to get them after all?
Well, we were hunting mammoth, and I mean, you weren't, obviously, but maybe
I don't. I refuse to hunt. I don't hunt. It's not my stuff.
Perhaps we were a little bit overzealous. Perhaps the Moamps were a little bit overzealous and pinned us in a corner, and we had no means of escape other than killing more than we'd wished. And we left these poor orphan eggs, which we decided to take in, love, and offer a home.
Hmm.
Offer a home for 30-foot long, 6-legged lizards with
Well, they
attitudes.
don't grow. They don't hatch 30 foot long.
How do you know?
It's true.
Well, because look at the size of the egg.
They could be
How you
folded
gonna
up
fit a
really, really
30 foot
tight.
long lizard into that thing?
Yeah, you probably couldn't fit a lizard any longer than about 12 foot in one of those eggs.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have happened if you'd have been people of peace. Hunting's a barbaric excuse for a sport.
You are quite right, and I'm sure once one of them hatches, and I look into its loving, adorable, cute, innocent eyes, I will come round to your way of thinking.
What's the plan? Are we going to like train them to be like attack dogs for us? Are we going to set them free on a planet so they can start a whole new, like invade a planet that's never had them before and just take over?
No,
Are we
that
gonna-
feels like a worse than orphaning some eggs, if I'm honest.
Are we going to keep them in a hold and feed enemies to them?
I plan to well and truly dote and spoil at least one of them.
Learn to ride
Probably not with fish.
it. No, probably
Think
no.
of
We
how
need that
much
fish.
they could eat.
Don't feed it the Stanek. Kill it with that.
No, I'm not going to do that. Oh. Anyway, we'll see. We'll have to see what they're. I'm sure it won't all be as idyllic as that. I'm sure they are actually wild animals that will behave and react as such.
You got to remember that Palia, that scientist, died, didn't she? That's kind of why we ended up on the crew. Was it? It was Rick, wasn't it? Was it Rick? It was Rick Verlo. He was mates with her, and when she died, he invited us on.
Yeah,
it was our way onto the Baltic Star in the first place.
Yeah.
So maybe the spirit of Palia lives on in these eggs. It doesn't really. She ended up in a bag, splayed across the front of a van rather unceremonially. But you know, it's what it is.
It seems fitting that they should be born here, given that they are somewhat responsible.
We give and take away.
Family is somewhat responsible for us being here.
It's true. The start of our adventures together, Stefan. I never even really knew you before that night. That fateful night. Have we what, dear friend?
No, sorry, go on. You were talking about me.
I was just thinking back to dear Agnar's retirement. A very drunken night. And yeah, I thought you were a bit of a bellend, really, and
here we are.
I know you weren't even there. We saw you on that orbital space station, and if I remember, you cheated us out of money and lied about it. So you know.
No. I kind of said that there was a job, and maybe there wasn't a job.
Yes, and then
it was
kept a cut.
A mission of the truth, I think.
Yes,
something along those lines.
You have a certain charm if you look at you hard enough.
If you look past the cheesy balls.
Yeah, well,
thanks.
There's only one. At least there's only one still stuck to you. The other one fell off down the way. Zoe, how would you describe Stefan in one word?
Skinny.
Thanks. Listen, Cara, I was going to say, have we got like a biologist or an ecologist? Is that a word? It feels like that should be a thing. Somebody who would be able to assess planets and the potential impact of us releasing these Moabs onto said planet. Because I don't want to kill off like 10 other species because these things get introduced and they have no predators because they are top of the food chain. And all of a sudden they eat everything. But
Rick.
Maybe we should ask Rick to start, looking into that. Yeah. Maybe not looking into it. Maybe we have to do it because we don't know where we're going. We're going into an uncharted space.
We are. we're leaving
So
the deep
perhaps
night.
as we
Yeah.
go forward, we can get Rick to just keep an eye out for somewhere suitable where they would be able to live but not
So thoughtful.
thrive too much. Much like us.
Live but not thrive too much. Make a note,
Yeah.
Stefan. That's what we'll do. We'll talk to Rick. We'll talk to Rick at the bar tonight. We'll see if he'll take it on. Zoe, I'm guessing this isn't what. If you were a head engineer, Zoe, and you said there's a surprise for us in the hold, do you think we've seen it yet?
I think this is the exact opposite of a surprise. This is what we knew was here.
Lead on, please, Zoe. Lead on.
Okay. And Zoe presses on down towards the very front of the space, which is effectively the rear of the ship, but it's the furthest point from the entrance, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And as you get there, quite close to the space where the ship's boat is docked normally,
Wait a minute, it's not.
you see that there is a fairly substantial change to the rear of the main hold area. In sort of 3 sections, each side of the 2 hatches that lead through into the boat dock and the rear lift and things like that. In 3 sections, so one on each side and one between the 2 hatches, there are very large new panels which are completely covered in bright, almost day glow yellow hatchings and warnings, which say things like empty area before moving, and empty area before expanding, and empty area before filling, things like that.
Stefan, they've gone and made our rear end complicated.
It looks much more complicated.
Oh, I enjoyed the peaceful calm down here. What have they done?
What do you think they've done to it?
I don't know. Let's go and look, dear viewers. Come. Let's all go. Let's prod it. Let's reach out into the void and prod.
Okay.
All you viewers at home watching Cara Laska's vlogging community, reach out your fingers now to the screen. But don't touch because you'll pause it or exit. But reach out and prod. Let's all prod together. Let's prod into the void and see what prods back.
The what it turns out to be is indeed a new, completely movable section. Imagine as you look down the sides of it in the little gaps, it looks like a collapsed concertina. With the sort of big panels with the warning notices on them, like one side of the concertina pressed flat very close to the hold wall, to the bulkhead. And as you glance at it, Zoe says, I know exactly what these are. Oh, that's really cool. These are fuel tanks. You can, if you haven't got too much stuff in the hold, or you move everything in the hold forward, what you can do is expand these sections, and you can fill them with fuel to increase your jump range.
We can get some more junk in the trunk.
As soon as we sell these fish.
Well,
as soon as that 5 kilograms is out, we can fill this entire space.
I might ask someone to move. I might ask someone to move the Stanek to a more central place because I feel it might be unbalancing our beloved Baltic Star somewhat by being out to one side.
I mean, you do understand that 5 kilograms of that material is about the size of a decent-sized pebble, and you could probably store it in your sock drawer without any trouble at all.
I don't want to break my drawer.
No, it's heavy, but it's not that heavy.
It would fit in a toasted sandwich maker.
Don't you mess with the toasted sandwich maker. And then heat it with the heat of 1,000 suns. Yeah, you're
What
like
what can I say? I've got a curious mind.
something
That's
or a
what people
broken
say.
mind.
Yeah. The Anyway, the point is, it looks as if, based on this, you can expand it by half a hold's worth or a whole hold's worth.
That's a lot of
A
fuel.
whole Holdsworth.
A whole hold's worth, yeah. So in essence, that'll buy you a considerable amount of extra jump fuel tonnage. Now that won't allow you to jump further in a single jump, but it will allow you to take 2 jumps before refueling, though
Nice.
probably not, I would guess, 2 jump 3s.
That's useful though, isn't it? Like we could. There are times when you're sort of scrabbling around a bit for a decent gas giant. If you're going somewhere with a, it's possible, isn't it, Stefan, that we could end up in a low tech area, hard to get a decent downport, fueling bad, might get us out of a tough spot. But we've got to sell that
I,
fish.
I should have known that an engineer's idea of a surprise
Fuel.
was not going to be that interesting.
I was kind of hoping we were going to have like a Dance Revolution machine down here, maybe.
Can you imagine?
Oh, we could have competitions every night. That'd
We
be
could
more exciting.
harness the energy that people give off when they dance and use it to power toasted sandwich makers.
Oh, well, see, that feels safer, sweatier but safer. Now, Zoe, I hope you're excited by it. We see the importance of it, but we just kind of wanted it to be dance mats.
It's really practical,
It is very practical.
and that's the best compliment I can give it.
Well,
It is what it is. I don't think it's necessarily the most thrilling thing, but I can understand why the engineer's excited, and I suspect Cat will be as well. I mean, this is significant extra range, you know.
That's true. Oh, and hey, we didn't have to pay for it, so
Yeah. And given that it was,
I knew that'd be an upside for you.
given that what they could do, it was what they could do with the ship in just a few weeks.
They've done good. They've done good, haven't they? They've done good.
They've done all right. They've given us some weapons to play with. I mean, this is going to sound like an off-the-wall question, but do we have anyone on board who's actually qualified in using ship weaponry?
Well, funny you should mention that. I myself am highly qualified in philosophy.
That's the exact opposite of what I was asking.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and say we don't know. You know, if we could somehow make them man portable, then I feel as though I would have half decent skill with them. Perhaps if there was some kind of artillery weapon, it would be okay. But when it comes to ship gunnery,
if I could,
not something over.
It's not your thing.
No, sorry. Go on.
If I could strap one to my fist and maybe call one persuasion, then I'd be able to use it quite well. But,
that feels weird.
No.
Mate, Tara, ask your vloggers if any of them are good with ship guns.
This would probably be the gunner turret skill, is what you'd need.
Well, dear viewers, I know I can't. I've spoken to Soraya. I know that of all the skills she has on a ship, gunning isn't one of them. What we'll do when we come out of jump, dear viewers, and we get into the planet that we're going to, more on that later. Any of you good gunners, get in touch. We'll have some kind of big reality TV show to find the Baltic Star's next gunner.
A gun off.
A gun off. We'll have a gun off. Good call.
Well, it is worth pointing out that just for your reference, Johnny and Zoe are both between skill developments.
So, what have you been reading up on recently?
Murder.
How about murdering with big guns?
Happy to learn that.
Big, really big guns.
Yeah, happy to have a play.
Shooting into the void. Do it. Get involved.
I tell you what, if I throw fish out the airlock, you
No!
can use them as target practice.
That's
That's
skate shooting rather than skeet shooting.
Okay. No skate shooting.
Valuable fish. Valuable fish. Stop mocking my fish purchases. Oh.
It's
Zoe.
like that sign at Wimbledon that says no ball games.
Oh. Zoe, I'm starting to get thirsty, Zoe. It feels like it's getting close to a drink. We wanted to drop in on our resident nerds first before heading up to Agnar. We see you at the bar in a little bit.
Yeah. I'll go and glare menacingly at the eggs and then head up.
Wonderful. Well, dear viewers on the vlog, Stefan and I are heading back up. I'm going to go drop in on the nerds. Stefan, you coming? Or you go? All right, I'll see you at the bar in a minute.
Wait, who? What? Which? Where?
The rock nerds.
Which nerds?
Well, they're on the top of the ship. They're on the happy side of the ship. You're allowed on that side of the ship.
I am. There's not even a.
Do you cower like this from the lights?
Behavior. Yeah, there is a little bit of that. Yeah, go on then. Oh, she's got no plans. I'll come with.
They're right up by the sauna on the happy side of the ship. I believe they've taken over 2 cabins. They've knocked a wall down. They've made a little lab type thing. They're doing some nerding. So we can go and have a look. But I'll tell you what.
Maybe go without me then.
Are you sure?
It's a long old way.
No, it's not that far, mate. We're nearly there. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's, dear viewers, we're going to have a couple of minute break on the Car Alaska vlog tonight. We'll come back. We'll go see the nerds and hang around, and you'll see if Stefan will join me or not, or if he's going to go back to his creepy dank hole. Shush. We'll be back in 5 minutes. This is Car Alaska. Peace out. Where's the break screen gone?
We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I've got all the graphics is up. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're off. Good evening, everyone. And as often is the case these days during the break time, if I'm back first from my wee, I grabbed a couple of prawn crackers to some Chinese tonight. Very fancy, huh? Um, I like to have a little chat with you guys before people turn back. It's quite nice. I think it's quite nice to be honest. Otherwise, you'll listen to the same bit of music over and over again forever. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. We always really, really, really appreciate you. It just makes it more fun, I guess, to know that people are at least pretending to listen, if not truly listening. And if you are truly listening, we really appreciate that. We hope you enjoy a different way of review, and we always try and do things slightly differently, I guess. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it fails. We don't pretend to be the best at anything really. One thing we do like to try and do is go about things in a different way. And when we started to do review sessions, half season and end of season review sessions, where we go through each episode and we talk about it, break it down. And we did that for the first couple. We thought, hey, this time we've not been on the Baltic Star for ages. Most of you haven't even seen it, even though our whole life is named after this ship, the whole channel, everything about us. So I thought it might be fun to jump into a bit more roleplay or car race vlogging style to sort of sum things up, a bit about what's happened so far, just catch up with people in a story-like way. And I know it's scattershot, I know it's wonky, but that's kind of what we do. And thank you for joining us in that, really. Yes, if you are in the UK and available next March, consider coming down to Faversham in Kent on the 16th and 17th of March. We are doing our convention, second annual. I was told by a local councillor who's a board gamer and is willing to support the event, which is very nice, that once you do it twice, it becomes annual. It's an annual thing. And so our second annual convention in March. Here in Faversham, we're going to do role-playing for one day, and we're going to sort out a mega game for the second day. No idea how the mega game's going to work, but it's going to be fun, hopefully. But yes, role-playing Saturday. If you're interested in any of that, then let us know. Follow us on the socials. We post links up to that. We're definitely going to have some Traveller there. We're going to have some Fimbria there. Ewan's going to cut with some stuff. I'm in contact with some other guys at the minute that are going to shoot some games at us. So we'll have tables of stuff. We've got some really nicely on the universities in Canterbury come with their group, their union, the student union for the D&Ders and the role players, and that's they come along, which is really nice. That's a bit of youth. Do you know what I mean? It's a different vibe. It's really good. They were really good last year. They've said they'll come again this year. So it should be. They were really. Sorry, I just unmuted you. They were fantastic fun to have them. I really liked them, and I liked the conference. It was small. The convention. There was like 30 most on one of the days, but it was just a real range of ages and vibes, and people just got on and played together, which I think good role plays like that, right? I think.
Yeah, we've got a nice range of games. Lots of things that are easy to jump into, and some chances to try out some different systems and different styles of play as well, because everyone's different when you sit down at a table.
I've officially announced that you're running a Traveller game, Ben. It's been black and white now, by the way. So
that's fair enough. I always plan to do so.
Good man. So yeah, there's 3 sessions on the Saturday. First session is like 10 o'clock, 10 till 1, 2 till 5, and 6:30 till 9:30, and then drinks after at the pub. Or Friday night there'll be drinks at the pub, and then we'll do the mega game on Sunday. So think about it. If you're listening, consider coming down for some or all of that weekend. There is I always forget which one it is. Is it Travelodge? Or the other one?
It's that
Premier
or Premier Inn. I can't remember which.
One of them in Faversham, which is it's a walk. It's what is it? 15-minute walk maybe.
About that.
From the
there are little hotels in town as well, and
Yeah.
And obviously bed and breakfasts and things like that. And we're only 15-20 minutes on train from Canterbury, and about the same from Sittingbourne, both of which have plenty of hotel options.
And the venue's a 2-minute walk from the train station.
It really is.
It's like opposite many pubs, a range of from your micro pubs to your Spoons and Shepherd Neame pubs and other pubs all in between, different places to eat. So it's a good venue. Come and hang out. Come and role play with us. If you fancy coming and running a game, let us know. It's 15 quid for the Saturday, 15 quid for the Sunday, 25 for the weekend. If you GM, the decision was made, we'll knock a fiver off for each session you GM. We were really bad with collecting money from GMs last year. That's why I'm still catching up on it. So you got to pay. You got to pay this time if you GM, but you get some money off instead. It's like a thank you, really. I guess it keeps the wheels oiled. But yes. So that's all that. Are you back, Ewan? I'm not on that screen. You are. There you are.
I am.
There's your little face.
Thanks.
Anything you want to add, Ewan, about the convention stuff before we restart?
No, I think you covered everything. Right? Train station, parking, hotels, lots of games, wide variety of people. What more can I say?
Yeah, and we have a fair few tables available. So in each session we're going to be running lots of games in parallel. I'm sure you'll be able to find something you enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. I think was the minimum for a session 5 or 6 last year.
Yeah, it was that kind of number. Yeah, there were games available, and they covered a bewildering range of different genres, rule systems, types, styles, everything. So everyone could find things they really like.
Yeah, definitely. We had some amazing. I shouldn't forget, but I do forget who it was last year that ran a table with full on scenery and battle maps.
Oh yeah.
3D miniatures out on the table was wonderful. From that to 100% theatre of the mind and various things in between.
Yeah, and it wasn't exactly something we planned as a standalone session, but Timothy's group doing traveller character generation was enormously successful.
Yeah, they really took to that traveller character, but traveller character generation is the best thing. So
it is tremendous. Yeah, it's enormous fun.
I'll put that. There's the convention poster anyway. I'll put it up briefly. Scan your little bit in the bottom if you so wish. Under 18s will need to be accompanied by an adult. That's generic stuff because we can't take responsibility for under 18s. That's not something we
can barely take responsibility for ourselves.
I have to do it every day of the week at work, so I don't have to do it on a weekend as well. Grief. Okay, cool. Right. On the note about taking responsibility, it's my responsibility at the minute to take on a very important toast. It's a toast to a fallen comrade, one that we all on this channel, if you've been in this channel any length of time, it's one we all know and love. He's a man with the mightiest forearms, made of sturdy oak, a jaw made of granite, a steady hand capable of pouring even the most complicated cocktail under pressure, who, if someone asks for a mojito, accepts the fact that 6 other people at the bar will say, "Oh, that's a good idea, I will too." And he won't change his expression at all. He was a wonderful man who died on an away mission. I didn't check the colour of his shirt. I don't know if it was red when he got there, but it was definitely red by the time he came back.
Certainly became red.
Certainly.
After that first aid.
We don't talk about the first aids. That's lost in the mists of time. I have no idea who it was and what happened, but I like to think back to happier times and not the time when he was bleeding out in Sarai's arms. I like to think of the time when he was up at the bar in his natural habitat, serving those that came aboard the Baltic Star for safe voyage here and there, back when the Baltic Star transported people here and there. And he sang many songs in public and in his room. And one of them, when he was feeling jaunty, he would allow himself a slightly Caribbean swagger. When things were good, when the rum was pouring, it was freely flowing around. And one of his songs would go like this. And I'd like us to think deeply on the words of Grey Hill and toast him at the end. It would go something like this. No full glass, no cry. No full pint, no cry. No whiskey, no cry. No vodka, no cry. Because I remember where you used to sit at the bar in the Baltic Star, observing the alcoholics, yeah, mingle with the good crew we meet. Good pilots we have, oh, good engineers we've lost along the way, yeah. But in this bright bar, you can't forget your past until you're about 8 pints in. Ladies and gentlemen, raise your glass to the late, great Grey Hill Bast.
To the late great Grey Hill Bast.
Late great Grey Hill Bast.
He was a fine man, and I feel we never really truly do him justice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's sadly missed, of course.
If only he'd been missed on the planet.
Only he'd been missed by Ben.
There is that. Yeah. He died shortly after a firefight.
He did. Perhaps the worst qualified man to take down to one.
Not during a
yeah.
firefight. Not because of injuries sustained during a firefight.
I like to say he was bleeding out. It's not like she poked more holes in him.
It felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Oh, I don't doubt it was well intentioned.
Wow. Do we all know about the road to hell? How that's paved.
So Cara and Stefan are heading back up in the lift.
We are. Let me get the Baltic Star back up.
Carl, you're the artsy type. I've been meaning to ask.
I'm glad you've noticed.
Well, it's hard to not, if I'm honest. These lifts, I've been meaning to talk to someone. They could really do with some music. Do you think you could compose some music that maybe we could play for a bit of like ambience on the journey up and down, and maybe something different for the way up and for the way down?
Well, I do have skills in both performance and instruments, and I'm kind of short of instruments at the minute, Stefan, on the Baltic Star. But if we can pick some up at the next stopping point, I'll compose something. I'd like to do something analog rather than digital. I could just do it on my laptop, but if you can get me an instrument, I'll learn to play it, and I'll create some music for the lifts. It'd be nice.
We must have a saw on board, surely.
You'd like to think so, but I wouldn't like to say. Have a look around, see what you can find me. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah,
I'll do it.
But anyway, look, we're up at least. It doesn't need to be too long. The lift's quite short. Follow me, Stefan. Take a deep breath. Blow your fringe out of your eyes and reposition your lip ring. We're heading up to the brighter. Look how colourful it is, man. Look at all these beautiful decorations on the wall. Look at this lovely graffiti. There's pinks. There's light blues. There's lovely. Look, you see this? These used to be two cabins. Look, there's still two doors, Stefan. But I've heard that our two resident boffins have knocked the wall down, and they've combined a kind of a sleeping area with a bit of a lab. And they've kind of kept it secret, but I've got it on the down low. I have words. It's all about who you know.
It's lucky it was them, because if it was anyone else, I'd worry if the wall was, structurally integral.
Well, we'll soon find out, I guess. They might also have knocked through to the sauna and having a lovely time. But let's see if anyone's there. Hang on, I'm just going to knock. Hang on, let me just.
I was going to say we should probably knock.
Should we knock one door each? See which door they come to. That'd be quite fun.
Oh. Yeah, that's interesting. Especially if they're right in the middle of the two. That feels like some kind of almost scientific, probably philosophical experiment.
Is this? I'll knock the. You know me. I swing to the left. I'll knock the left.
I'll take the right then. Ready?
Yeah.
Both doors come open in a hurry. What?
Hey!
Hello.
Sammy.
Hi.
Hey, you get us in?
Yeah, sure.
We were doing science in your honour.
That was science, was it?
Yes.
Well, we wondered which door would open.
Well, we were doing an experiment.
Okay.
Say hello to the viewers. They enjoy their experiment.
Hello, viewers. Nice to see you. You might want to not like live stream this.
Sorry, viewers. I'll tell you what. Oh, look. I'm going to leave the camera out in the corridor. If you look, I'll position it here. If you look down there, it appears that one of our new crewmates by the name of Cags has gone to the toilet at the rear end and he's sort of wobbling a little bit. I'll leave it there. You can watch to see if he gets all the way down without falling over. We'll be back to you in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Sammy pulls up on her sort of computer screen what she's working on. And it is dozens and dozens of images taken from inside that temple.
Not inside March Temple, I hope. It wasn't.
No.
Inside
the,
not a medical
sort of,
scan.
the pyramid structure on Harrenhal Island on Geeka.
Yes, I remember it well. Ah, Sammy, you guys did good. I'm glad we were able to buy you a bit of time to get stuff done.
I've been doing some work on the on the nature of the material.
Are you all right? Is it getting to you a bit? Is it dusty in there? It's not radioactive, is it?
The material is insanely hard wearing. It's like
Stefan's chest.
Harder than that.
Oh.
It's as if the entire island was made of one giant piece of black diamond.
Wait, diamond?
Yeah. Like a giant industrial diamond.
Sized diamond.
Make a note, Stefan.
And you just let it. You just left, Cara.
Oh, mate.
We've got 5 kilograms of something I can't even pronounce in our hold. 10 tons of mackerel.
They're both valuable.
And you left the island-sized diamond.
Where am I going to sell that? Who's going to buy an island-sized diamond? They're not going to be able to take it anywhere, are they?
I could list at least 5 people if I had access to my device.
They couldn't go see it anyway. The popo are all over it, aren't they?
Well, yeah, that's true. But you could have brought it with you.
Oh, well, towed it. We could have put it in the net with the fish.
It's not as valuable as you think. You understand? It's industrial black diamond. It's not pretty.
Listen, you say diamond, and you know those imperial credit signs start rolling around my eyes.
Let me put it this way: you could make a lot of grinding tools and sharp edges with it, but you couldn't make a lot of engagement rings.
I mean, you could.
You could, but they wouldn't sell very well. Most people, when they buy a diamond for anything other than industrial purposes, they want it to look like a diamond rather than like a piece of black rock.
Do you know what though? If you put a little piece of black rock into a ring and you sold it to criminal types to cut holes in glass with,
yeah, is that what you're asking for, Stefan? Is that what you want them to do to you?
I'm just trying to find a way to sell it. Let's go on. I'm derailing the.
You monetize everything. That's your problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I've been looking at the various images we got through multiple spectra to see if I can analyze what it is and how it was built. And I've come up with something quite interesting. I think it's a single crystal.
That whole thing, that whole
I
island.
think it was grown as a single crystal of diamond, the entire island. And I don't know how deep it goes, but it could go all the way to the ocean floor for all I know.
Some kind of dark crystal, you say?
Like that, yeah.
The carvings, that's hard stuff. That's some serious machinery to put those carvings in the floor. Stefan, you
Yeah.
didn't see them. Hang on, Stefan. I took some pictures of the carvings. Hang on. Let me
I've
just
seen
flick through.
carvings before.
Hang on.
I know what they look
No,
like.
no. These are different. Hang on. Look, these isn't give the same. Like this one, Stefan. Look, this is very different.
Different how? How are they different?
It's much smoother. Have a look. Look, no, it's less angry. Have a look. Oh no, hang on. This is the original one. I'm sorry. Not that one. Sorry. Are you getting bad? Hang on. Sorry, not the bad vibes ones. Hang on. This one. Yeah, no. This is one of the new ones. That Sammy, isn't it? This is one of the new ones, isn't it, Sammy? It's one of the new ones, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the new ones.
Yeah, look, there it is. Look. You're not getting bad juju out of that, are you?
You'd imagine that somebody who is well trained in philosophy and carousing would not want to put somebody through psychological torture, wouldn't you?
I just find it funny.
I don't know. I mean,
Most
I
of the
suppose
time.
it would depend whether they were privately or publicly educated.
Stefan looks at camera.
Well, I don't know my claret from my Beaujolais, if that helps.
And then looks at
Then
himself
no,
in his
they
dressing
definitely
gown with
shouldn't
cheesy
want to
balls
talk.
hanging from his chest. All right, have you had your fun now? Show me the real picture.
Yeah. Look, see, that was all carved in the floor, the ceilings. Like, this is like serious carving equipment, right, Sammy, Freya? This is like we tried to blow chunks off and nothing.
It's in order to cut into something like this. I mean, you have to understand what growing a single crystal like that means, because people hear crystal and they think of something like a gemstone, but this is the sort of scientific form of the word crystal. What I mean is that it's a single molecule, one single piece. We, on board this ship, we've got lots of things that are actually made of metal, but those metal pieces are grown as a single crystal of metal. This was industrially produced on an absolutely enormous scale.
Like those crystals you know, back in school you used to grow in the little dishes.
Exactly like that.
But he just gestures like big, massive, giant.
Yeah. You just need a little dish like 5 miles across.
Is it? You've got the science down. We're speaking with Zoe, back on the Geeker, who said that it was kind of stuff from her childhood stories. Is it worth you and her teaming up a bit and sort of combining her childhood story know-how with your hard scientific research?
At this point, Freya interrupts and says, I think I know the stories she's talking about, and I know pretty much all of them.
Of course, you were really educated and set up for the big deep night voyage, weren't you?
And what you have to understand is that the language in these carvings, I can't translate it. I don't know exactly what it says. But I know that it has elements in it that I've seen in plenty of other places. This is not like the ones you showed me on the cliff face.
Mm. Do you want to see those again, Stefan? Just in case
No.
you've forgotten. Sorry, carry on.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
These are much smaller, much more detailed.
Thank goodness.
And there's bits in it I recognize from other ancient stuff. And I don't mean ancient like as old as Herrenhal. I mean much more recent than that, but still ancient in civilization terms.
Like Agnar
Hundreds,
ancient.
thousands
Oh,
of years ago.
43. That's so old. Nothing's that old. That is
So
Harrenhal Asian.
what we're talking about here is there are there are bits in these carvings that look like Zodani writing. There are bits that look like mathematical equations, but with Zodani notation. Now, no modern Zodani that I'm aware of would be able to read them, but this is something the Zodani would have familiarity with, even if all they knew was that it was ancient. They've copied bits of their culture from these kinds of carvings.
This might be the wrong crowd, but does anyone here know roughly how old the current Zodani language is in its
As
current form?
in the way it's spoken today, it's around about 1200 years old. But there are predecessor languages, you understand.
Yes, yeah. And could you give a rough? Oh, I mean, I guess what I'm asking is, can you date this? Can you estimate the difference between the current language form and what you have here?
Yes, yes. I mean, I can look at the rate at which forms change over time, and I can come up with a sort of cross section of the way notations are written. At this point, all I can tell you is a very, very rough estimate.
I mean, I wouldn't put. It's probably not worth anything, and it probably doesn't really matter. But I'm just being nosy, so you know, no
If
pressure.
if you were to guess somewhere between 5 and 10 million years, you probably wouldn't be far off.
Mm.
So the crystal has, and how long would the crystal have taken to grow? Taken to have grown?
Um, Sammy looks up at this question and she says, depends on the technology that was used, but quite possibly anywhere between a year and 10 years. But if they were able to accelerate the process really quickly, it could be a bit quicker.
Okay. So whoever grew this did it a long time ago.
A
That's
long
all I've
time
got.
ago.
Sorry. Interesting though.
Is it Sammy? You saw
It is
the
Sammy.
pictures. Sammy, you saw the picture of the carvings from the Seabat cave. Are there similarities to that?
Yeah, from what I can remember, they look closer to these ones. They look like some of the same things, but they didn't seem to be as old.
No, and they were
Maybe,
just into rock, weren't they? More than anything.
yeah, I think you have to assume that maybe people who lived on Geeka a century ago or 2 centuries ago or more recently than that might have taken inspiration from what they saw on Herrenhal and carved their own versions of it or their own tributes to it.
Mm, interesting. That's pretty cool. All right. I like what you guys have done to the place. Are you sleeping here as well, or just using it as your lab?
This is still bedroom. Most of what we're doing here is on the computer, after all.
Mm. I like it. I was worried. I don't know if the rest of the crew were worried about bringing in Freya, hoping that she wouldn't unbalance the team. It's nice to see the two of you working together.
It's it's interesting when you're dealing with fellow academics. You find common ground really easily.
Ah, it's good. It's good to see you. Are you too busy this evening? You come over to the bar in an hour or two. We're going to have a big. Some of us have a big blowout. Some are going to have a less blowout, but a drink or two to celebrate our next chapter, I guess.
Both of them are basically shaking their heads in synchronization. Oh, I've got a lot to do, and there's much more of this.
Oh. Ah. Um, Stefan, could you go and crouch and cower behind Sammy for old time's sake before we leave?
Do you just want to get a photo?
Yeah, I do actually.
Sammy, do you mind?
I don't mind.
Go on.
Thanks.
Look tough and strong like you did on the planets when Stefan was hiding.
I thought you were talking for me for a minute then. And Stefan will scooch behind and
look like you're watching her back, Stefan.
tuck himself in, but poke a little head round the corner, just to play up to it a little bit.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's going on the front page. Cheers, guys.
Wait, front page of what?
Oh, everything. Don't worry. Oh, I'm starting a Baltic Star newspaper. I'm bored, so every day I'm going to do a daily paper to hand out around the Baltic Star.
Daily Baltic Star.
Yeah. I'll do all the gossip, all the news, all the celebrity stuff, all the sport. Don't you worry. I'll give update. I'll give really important updates on the Stanek.
When you say all
Stanek
the
updates.
sport, how long is the Pelago Races world champion going to be the sport headline?
Every day for a week at least during jump,
Yeah.
and maybe more, unless something better comes along. Yeah, world champion after all. World's champion after all. Right. Anyway, cheers, ladies. We're going to go off and wet our whistles and wait for everyone else to turn up.
Good. We have plenty to do.
Let us know if anything interesting. I'm sure you will, but when you find something interesting, you can put into simple enough terms for us laymen. We'd love to hear it.
Sure. We'll try and make it easy for others to understand.
Yes, that's good. Think
much appreciated.
Think chimp, and then a layer or two below that, and then when you're at that level, we're good to go.
Right, we'll aim it at Johnny then.
Yeah, exactly. He's exactly your target audience.
Good.
Ta-ra a bit.
Bye.
See you later.
Come on, Stefan. Let's go. What?
What? Listen, no. I'm gonna let you have your drinks. I'm gonna head back to my room.
Is it a bit bright over this side? Is it? Are you feeling a bit overwhelmed? Not claustrophobic enough?
He'll look around a little bit and he'll say, "Listen, the last time I had a few beers, I feel as though I kind of put all of us in a bit of a tough situation and made some poor choices. So
that's the point of drinking. You make bad choices.
Yeah, but not that bad. I'm just gonna take it, a little bit easy. I'm gonna make myself a toasted sandwich. I'm gonna clean the toasted sandwich maker afterwards. That's the most important step of making the toasted sandwich. The job's not done until you've tied it up. As I've been taught today. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to settle in, and I'm going to start looking at places I can get you some musical instruments.
Yes, I'll drop by in the next couple of days, when everything's settled and jump is fairly kicked in. And, yeah, take care of yourself, man. See you soon.
Make it so.
You have such a way with words. Right now, dear viewers, you're back with just I, your humble host. And we are heading to the most special place on the Baltic Star. It's the head upon the space torso, the bulging head. It's my favourite place of many. And between you and I, I'm pretty certain of two people we're going to see here, because I heard rumours that the ship's whiskey supplies are being burnt through at a horrifically high rate. I'm a bit worried that we're going to run out before our destination. In fact, look over there. Yes, there they are. By the bar, one of them in much worse state than the other. I'll leave you to decide. It is. Agnar!
Kara!
Arms up! Agnar! How you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
Oh, you've got your top hat on again. I love it when you wear that. You look so swanky.
Well, it's a night out, of course.
It's a night
Listen,
out.
I have a really important question for you.
Important questions.
Old Cagsy here asked me.
Oh, Cagsy
say
now,
hi,
is it?
Say
Well,
hi, Cagsy.
Yep.
how drunk are you, Agnar? Cagsy.
He asked me, and
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant question, and
Okay.
I'm asking you if there was one smell or flavour that you could remember from our last visit to Geeker, what would it be?
It's a very good question.
It is, right?
Think of all the exciting things I've done. Oh, yeah. I'd say it's the smell of disappointment when you saved Fest's life. Sorry,
That's
too deep. Not. I'll see. But not as deep as Stefan's stab that you saved him from. Eh? 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 Eh?
No,
eh,
I'm not going to be
eh,
ashamed.
eh.
I saved a man's life, and I'm proud of it.
You're an excellent medic, Agnar. It's one of your great strengths.
Listen, as well as a medic, I've decided. I hope you don't mind. I've decided to appoint myself. I've decided to take. I'm taking. And he takes a sip from his whiskey. I'm taking quartermastery ship. I'm being quartermaster of the cases. Those cases of the the good whiskey that were given to us by Deep Nut, Dark Sun. I don't know. They're both dark.
I see.
Why is everything so dark?
I see you've already taken your quartermaster's cut there.
No. Listen, there's two behind the bar. The rest are stashed away somewhere secret, and I will replenish them as. I've still got my personal stash. You understand?
Well, of course.
I can't leave it out here. You know what this place is like. It'll be gone. It'll be gone in days.
Why did you look at Cags when you said this place?
Because he's new.
Have you taken him through the naked salute in honour of the Grey Hill Bass Poster yet?
No, you should show him.
I will. Right. So Cagsy, I believe your name is now. Can everyone call you that, or is that just for close friends?
I think only I can call him Cagsy. Isn't that right, Cagsy?
I'm pretty sure not even you can call me that.
Precisely.
Cagsy. How are you
You're
enjoying?
all fine. Cags is fine.
How are you enjoying your time on the Baltic Star so far?
Well, so far, I have to say, it's been a pretty good experience. I mean, my first encounter with it, not quite so good. I kind of crashed into the side of it. But since then, it's been excellent.
That's good. You're okay to go out and fix that, all right, at some point?
Oh, it didn't do any damage to this ship.
That's all right. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what it does to others. We've got to look after the Baltic Star. It's our lifeblood. It's our late night lover.
Well,
home.
The other craft was just a small shuttlecraft, and it wasn't mine.
I believe it's the one that you went and rescued I'm going to call him a friend from the side of a cliff from. Talk us through. Was it a normal day in your life?
I don't think I've ever had a normal day, but if you mean a typical one, then yeah. So normally I get up and then stuff happens, and then I drink some and go to bed.
Just like today.
Now you probably need just a little bit more detail in the middle there, right? But I've turned my hand to a few different things. I've been a mercenary, and then a booker for mercenaries, and a commander of mercenaries, and a guy who identified the remains of mercenaries. All sorts of things. Broadly, I've always felt that there's really not that much point in a war if nobody's turning a decent profit. So I've always aimed to be the one who took the profit.
And Agnar was always the one that took the glory. Isn't that right, Aggers?
That's very true.
Tell him about that glorious defence you had. That was amazing. It goes
But
down
which
in
one?
Well, the big one, the biggest one, the one that I wrote about when I was a stooge.
Well, let me tell you, it was a spectacular defence.
It was Cags. It was Cags. It was amazing. But enough of that.
I'll show you the medal one day.
Yeah, we've all seen the medals. I've seen the 5 years long service medal, the 10 years long service medal. I've seen them all. The 15 years long service medal. The floofiest fur medal. I've seen that one. That one appears to be on cardboard.
Well, some of them they don't actually give you. Some of them, it's implied that you make them yourself.
So, I mean, here's a question, because being a man of my kind of background and realizing that everyone's got an angle somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the lift off planet. I think the police were starting to get just a little bit too excitable there. But here's my question: how does this ship actually turn a profit, make a living, keep flying?
A profit, you say? What?
Fish, mostly fish.
Yes, fish, and we've got 5 kilograms of a very important material.
Really?
Yeah.
Agnar puts his fingers in his ears at this point. La 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 la.
But mostly fish. We've got a lot of fish, and we're going to sell a lot of fish, and that's what keeps us flying.
So, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I have this question.
Yeah, please.
Because the glary one, who always looks at me like I'm an idiot, she said,
Kara.
no, the other one.
It could be Soraya. Could be Soraya thinks you're an idiot.
Could be, yeah.
Zoe, maybe?
Anyway,
Sammy. Probably Freya. Could be Rose. Who else might think he's an idiot? Don't know. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Too much. Please,
the point is, she said our next stop was somewhere called Brightsea.
Yes, Brightsea.
Now, I know Brightsea a bit. I've got drunk there many times. But here's my question. Brightsea basically is an ocean world.
It's where we got Rose from.
Okay, good.
Went fishing.
So you've got someone who's local, and here's the thing: you've loaded up your ship full of fish.
And you're
transporting it to an ocean world.
I see your concern, Cagsy. If I can call you Cagsy.
Bigger picture.
I'm just wondering if, strictly speaking, business is not your forte.
Well, firstly, they were a good price. Secondly, he had very pretty eyes.
Okay.
And thirdly,
that little spot of green in the left one.
To die for. And thirdly, fish. Lots of fish, Shagno, isn't it? Lots of fish.
No, Cara. Now, I feel as though we owe it to Cagsy to let him in.
Let him in.
On what?
Go on, give him.
On what our plan is for the immediate future.
Give him the skinny.
The fish are not for sale on Brightsea.
No, that'd be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
Oh
wouldn't
God,
it?
imagine that.
Stupid.
Sure. I mean,
Selling
silly of
fish
me to
on
bring it up, really.
No,
fish on
no,
emotion
no.
bar. So you weren't to know.
We
You weren't
don't-
to know, Kegsy. You
We
weren't to know.
don't judge. We don't
No,
judge.
no. It's a non-judgmental bar here.
But we do, however, have information about another. I would say profitable. Would you say profitable, Cara?
I hope so, because otherwise it sounds quite terrifying. I'm not doing it for fun.
Profitable, if not terrifying.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Venture to be had in the vicinity of Brightsea. We're not. I don't think we're making land, are we?
Well,
Certainly not entering orbit.
Or making sea.
Or making Brightsea. No.
No.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
We have a no.
No, 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 no,
Are you mocking me now?
no, 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 no.
As opposed to when?
See, he fits on board already. Are we bearing all? I suppose we're going to bear all anyway. If you're going to do the
Well, if you're going to do
naked
the
greyhound,
exactly the naked greyhound, that's a good dance.
It's like the funky gibbon, but
It's
not. Listen, Cagsy, have you heard of a ship called the Calawan?
Well, that sobered me up. Yeah.
No, this goes no further than this ship. Cara here is an IT expert, and she's monitoring all outgoing communications.
I don't look like it, but I'm very smart.
And she's not had as many whiskies as I have.
No.
We have good information that the Calawan is somewhere in the vicinity of Brightsea.
It is.
And we plan to claim her.
Okay. Tell you what, I'll take my chances with the authorities here. Good luck with that.
Whoa.
I'm very disappointed, Agnar. I thought you said he was cool.
What have you heard?
You know how sometimes there are people who come back from a long expedition and they say they saw something and they want to go back and check it out, and they start to put two and two together and they say maybe it's the Calaran, could have gone missing there, and you think maybe, yeah, could be. I've never met any of those. I've never met anyone who saw it and came back from it or anything like that, but I've met lots and lots of people who said, I think I know where the Calaran is, and then I've never met them again.
I mean, that feels like a jump. There feels like there's some steps missing in the logic of I've met lots of people that have said I know where the Calaran is, and you've never seen them again, and the Calaran claiming them and their souls for its own. I mean, 1,000,001 things could have happened to all of those people. They could all be off rich, dining on fine caviar and living the life of Riley.
Strawberry
and you
fish
would have
milk.
never seen them again.
Strawberry
Fish
right.
out the wazoo.
They absolutely could. And I have to tell you that I've spent a lot of time in a particular kind of line of work, and it's the kind of line of work where nobody gets all that rich, and if they stop returning your calls, it's because they're never going to again. But having said that, maybe that's just my experience and my line of work. Perhaps you guys have got much more experience of places where everything just works out for you.
Oh yeah, we lead a charmed life. We went to a desert world and created a whole business through friends that we made along the way.
That's true.
And we
I
met.
have to say that does sound good, but I don't think you're going to find as many friends on the Calaran.
We were tipped off by this guy called Otto Nieder, famous through the Claymore. You might have heard of him. Old guy by now, but he's well known, I believe.
Yeah. I've heard some of his stories.
He led us. He led us on the route. Sort of had some ideas where it was. I had a little look around, found out where it was. He seemed very positive about the whole thing. I think, well, if we die, we die, right? But it's interesting to find out what's there.
Uh, you're not wrong. And, I would be curious to see for myself. I mean, if we could find it, that's a hell of a ship.
Star Eater, pretty
Precisely.
much, isn't it?
Listen to me, Cagsy. First off, it may not even be there. In which case, you've nothing to worry about. Second off, I don't believe, Cara, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't
always
believe
do.
we've ever forced. That's true.